Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Sona launch event. My name's Kat. I am a senior CSM at OpenPhone. Excited for everyone that's joining. We have a really jam-packed agenda today. And so with that being said, we're not going to start right away. We're going to give a few minutes to let some people trickle in. While we're waiting for that to happen, I would love to see where everyone's from. So if you don't mind putting maybe the city that you're located in within the chat, maybe you can find yourself a new best friend in your area. For me, I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if there's anyone from North Carolina or South Carolina, would love to hear that. And yeah, like I said, we'll be getting started in a few minutes. We have a lot of people that registered to join today, so I want to make sure that we can get as many people in here as possible. We have two amazing presenters that are going to share a lot about Sona and the vision and how we got here. So really exciting stuff to dive into. Like I said, we'll give it another few minutes as we wait for some participants to roll in. If you missed it, my name is Kat. I am a senior CSM at OpenPhone. I've been here for almost 3 years, and I think that the Sona launch event is one of the most exciting things that we've released since I've been a part of the company. So very excited to be here and kind of to tell you all about it today with my two amazing presenters that I will introduce in a little bit. And again, if you missed it, let's put your city that you're located in within the chat. Um, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, have lived here since I graduated college, so almost 7 years, a long time. Maybe if there's a city that you think I should move to instead of Charlotte, put that in there. Would love to hear about that. Perfect. It looks like the chat is popping off. So that is very exciting. I'm going to give it another few minutes while we wait for people to join, and then in the next minute or two, we will hop into the agenda. And like I said, we have a lot of exciting things planned. Um, and then one last time, I'm going to do an introduction of myself. My name's Kat. I am a senior CSM at OpenPhone, have helped hundreds of customers maybe, best utilize the product, get onboarded to the product. So really excited to be a part of this launch event today. Perfect. Again, the chat is going crazy. I'm really excited to see where everyone's from. Um, I think we've given enough time to see everyone roll in. We will be going through a few housekeeping items to start. So first and foremost, this event is being recorded. So if you do have to jump off early, no worries. You will be getting the recording of the event via email after the event ends. You'll also be getting some additional resources within that email, so keep an eye out for that. We're doing a live Q&A at the end of the event, which will be really exciting. So make sure that you are submitting questions within the Q&A box. And then finally, along with the Q&A, we do have some people monitoring the chat. So Annette and Justine from the customer success team at OpenPhone are helping monitor and mediate the chat. So if there are any questions, they'll be hopping in there as well to help answer those before we even get to that live Q&A session. In terms of our agenda today, so we have some amazing presenters that I'm going to introduce in a little bit. Two people that are kind of critical to OpenPhone and to the Sona launch event. We'll be hearing an opening keynote from one of those very special presenters. We'll talk through Sona capabilities. So what is Sona? What can Sona do right now? What are the tasks that Sona can complete? And then we'll be doing a live demo of Sona, which I think is a big reason why a lot of you people have joined today. And then, like I said previously, we'll be doing a Q&A session at the very end. So make sure to pop your questions into the Q&A tab within Zoom so we can get to those. If we don't get to your questions, I'll be sharing some other ways that you can have those answered, and I'll be sharing those towards the end of the webinar. So try to stay tuned for that if you can. All right, introducing our presenters. I mentioned this at the beginning, but if you missed it, my name is Kat. I am a senior CSM at OpenPhone. I've been here for almost 3 years, and I think Sona is probably one of the most exciting things that I've seen launch since I've been a member of the company. So really excited to help host this launch event today. We have Andrew, who is the product manager for Sona. So he's really the best person to speak to exactly what Sona can do. And so he'll be leading that live demo and also to be involved in that Q&A session that we're going to have at the end of the webinar. And then we have Daryna, who is one of our co-founders and the COO of OpenPhone. So she is going to talk a little bit about kind of the vision of Sona, share a little bit about OpenPhone and kind of our mission. And with that being said, we're actually going to kick it off with Daryna and have her lead the opening keynote for this event.
Thank you so much, Kat. Hi, everyone. So great to be here. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at attendees. I'm seeing so many familiar names. Hey, everyone. Just love the energy and the excitement and all the feedback and love we've received for Sona. So it's a very special moment to talk more about it and what's possible now. Um, in terms of because there are some folks here and we've looked at the registrations, there are some folks here who are new to OpenPhone or maybe don't know us too well. So I just want to maybe do a bit of an intro. OpenPhone at the very core, we're a business phone solution, helping you and your team communicate with your customers better. We bring your calls, messages, contacts into this beautiful shared workspace to really help you communicate with your customers better, respond faster. However, of course, with the launch of Sona, a lot of that is getting elevated and we will talk about it. But before we talk about the what and really what we do, what's the product that we have for you, I really want to talk about the why. Why do we wake up every day to do this work and what really drives us? And to me, when we started OpenPhone back in 2018, the one thing we knew from the very, very beginning is that we really want to empower and equip small businesses. 99.9% of all businesses in the US are small businesses. And, my dad, has been an entrepreneur all his life. That also is my own inspiration. And we really want to bring you something that helps your business grow. In terms of how we do it and our mission, yes, we do this through currently our business phone solution, but we think there is a lot more there and we have a lot bigger ambitions. But at the end of the day, no matter how our product evolves, we really want to help you make your customers feel valued. And I will talk more about what that is and all the ways you can do that. But a little bit more about OpenPhone and our history. So Mahir and I started the company in 2018. That's a photo from a co-working space back when we used, Post-it notes as a project management tool, which is a whole new, a whole other era. And there were several milestones in our company journey that I think were critical. So by the way, drop in the chat if you are a very early customer, if you remember these things. But 2020, we launched the desktop app. And, of course, I'm sure you use it all the time. And maybe now it feels like, okay, like it's there, but it felt like a huge milestone at the moment. 2021, we launched our product for Teams. And in 2021, we actually launched our ability to share a phone number. I know many of you here, and I see familiar names. I know many of you use OpenPhone as a team and share a phone number to share responsibility for calls and messages. That only was possible in 2021. Now, last year, we actually finally became open. I know we've been OpenPhone from the beginning, but our open API that is now available as of last year allows you to really connect OpenPhone to other tools. And that brings us to, today and Sona. I think looking back, Sona is going to be that big milestone for us where, everything changes because of all the possibilities that it opens up for us. So I also want to mention how proud and how grateful we are for the opportunity to serve you. We've had over 1 billion calls and messages on our platform, which is crazy thinking back to the early days. We serve over 60,000 businesses. Thank you so much to all of you, your customers. That really, really means a lot to us. And what's interesting about our customers, about you, is that we have customers in every industry, every use case, and we're building the kind of product that can be easily configured to fit your needs. Now, in terms of why we're here today, and I see questions about Sona, of course, we are going to be talking about Sona. But I want to tell you a little bit more about sort of like how we got there. So the mission for us has always been helping you, make sure every customer of yours feels valued. And a big part of it is really like not missing calls, because you know this, right? When you don't pick up your phone, that prospect is probably going to call another business, take their business elsewhere. And we've always wanted to find ways in the product to not let you miss those calls. So there are 4 ways that we've already done it. And again, these are the things you're probably already using. Shared numbers, sharing responsibility for the phone. So maybe you're on a lunch break, your team member can answer. That helps you not miss calls, right? There's that. Automated text messages when you get a missed call. That helps you turn those missed calls into potential text conversations. By the way, one of my favorite features, really great. We also send you email notifications, after hours call forwarding. Basically, there is so much that we have done throughout the years to really help you not miss those calls. However, today with Sona, of course, that is taken to a whole new level, because with Sona, you can really guarantee that there's no such thing as a missed call. That's not a thing anymore. Sona picks up calls 24/7. And I'm so excited to have Andrew join me here. He's our product manager for Sona, and he'll tell you all about it and show you how it works. So thank you. And Andrew, please take it from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Folks, really excited to be here today to speak more about Sona. The team has been incredibly hard at work over the past few months, bringing these capabilities for you inside of your open phone workspaces. So excited to talk a little bit about it here. The origin story for Sona goes back a few months. Back in October, we were doing some customer interviews for a new feature we were launching, AI call tags. And as part of one of those calls, we were getting to know a customer, and they were telling us about how on weekends, after hours during time with family, or when he's at events, he gets a call that comes in and he steps away to answer that call. He's afraid to let that call go to voicemail. He's afraid that a customer might go unheard. And I'm sure this isn't a unique problem. This is something that many of you business owners experience day in, day out. And, I bet it's one of the big reasons you're here today is to ultimately solve that problem. Around the same time, we started getting a lot of demand on social channels and through our sales team about an AI agent. And as the technology caught up and got better, finally became the opportunity for us to build and release Sona. Sona is your AI agent that helps make sure you never miss a customer. It keeps your business on 24/7, whether that's calls coming in after hours, or maybe it's calls that happen during the day when your team's just too busy to answer all of them. Sona is there for you. Sona will pick up the phone, it'll greet the caller, it'll understand why they're calling, answer any questions that they might have, and it could capture key details for them so that you can capture leads or take a message while you're not available. It's smarter than a voicemail, it's conversational, it's fluid, and it's more affordable than an answering service for you and your business. Now, when we set out to build Sona, there was 3 principles we kept in mind the entire way. The first is that we wanted Sona to be highly configurable. As Daryna mentioned, we serve over 60,000 small businesses in a wide range of industries with a wide range of use cases. We wanted to make sure that now and in the future, Sona is configurable and ready to use for each and every one of your businesses. Second, just like the rest of the open phone platform, we wanted Sona to be incredibly easy to use. Whether you have a ton of technical expertise, but maybe not a ton of time, or maybe you're just getting started with agents and workflow builders, Sona is designed to be quick and easy to configure so that everybody can get started. And last but not least, we wanted to make sure that Sona is fully integrated into the open phone experience, making sure that every customer conversation that you have with your business is all in one place. So with that, Sona is designed to work seamlessly within our new call flow builder. The call flow builder allows you to define exactly how a call gets routed inside of OpenPhone. You can use this to have calls sent through to Sona through the phone menu. You can use this to have to replace your voicemail with Sona, and you can use this to have after-hours calls go to Sona as well. Next, you upload some knowledge into Sona. Knowledge will be used by Sona to answer questions that your callers have. And last but not least, you can define exactly what key details Sona collects from callers so that you don't have to play phone tag when following up with them. My favorite part about Sona is the effortless oversight. So in your own open phone workspace, you have the calls view. The calls view has a filter called Handled by Sona, and this will pull up a full list of each and every call Sona handled. Every single call that Sona handles gets recorded. Each and every call gets a transcript and an in-depth summary of exactly what happened on that call. We show you what questions Sona answered, how it answered them, and what key details Sona collected from the caller. Now, the best part about all of this is it's not only available on our desktop app, but it's available on iOS and Android as well. So that when you're on the go, you're not at a computer, you can see exactly what Sona is doing for you and your business. And this data is also available through our API so that you can integrate it with other systems that you are using. Now I'm going to jump into a quick demo of my OpenPhone workspace to show you exactly what it's like to configure Sona for the first time. Okay, so what you're looking at here is my OpenPhone workspace, and I'm going to head over to the settings for this inbox. In the settings here, you have access to our new call flow builder, and I'm going to go ahead and edit that. And in here, like I mentioned earlier, is where I define exactly how my calls get routed inside of OpenPhone. In this scenario, there's an incoming call. Depending on the business hours, it'll get routed differently. During hours, it'll ring me for 5 seconds before going to voicemail, and after hours, the call will go directly to voicemail. Now, what's really cool is I can replace these voicemail steps with Sona. Now, instead of leaving the call to voicemail, Sona will step in and handle the customer conversation. This is where I start the configuration experience. So here I could change the greeting. Hey there, this is Sona virtual assistant. I'm going to change this to Andrew's assistant. Next, I'm going to upload some knowledge. So again, here is the information that I provide Sona that it's going to use to answer customer questions. I already have an FAQ doc in here, so I'm going to turn that on. And I also want to create a new one. This one's just going to be Sona general info. I have some information here that I'm going to copy and paste. And I'm going to save the changes here. The knowledge trains Sona, and again, Sona will now be able to use this information to answer customer questions. The last piece of the configuration here is to define the key details Sona collects when taking a message. By default, Sona is going to capture the caller's name and the reason for calling, but it could also capture other things, such as best time to get back to the caller. That's pretty much it. Once you've gone ahead and configured Sona, you can hit the test button, and that will allow you to have a quick conversation with Sona. You can continue to update knowledge and modify the details it collects, the greeting, until it's to your liking. You could keep testing, and then once you're ready to publish and go live to your customers, you just hit publish changes on the call flow. Now I want to show you the oversight experience. So I'm going to jump back in to my inbox. And here is where I see the conversations that I have with my customers. So in this scenario, there was a call that came in. Sona handled the call. I'm going to play a quick snippet of the recording here for you.
Hi there, this is Sona, a virtual assistant. This call is being recorded for quality and training. How can I help today?
Hey, Sona, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How can I help you today?
Listen, I just wanted to purchase the Sona add-on for my OpenPhone workspace. How much is that going to cost?
Sona costs $49 per month and includes 50 calls.
As you can hear there, super low latency conversation, very natural sounding, and Sona is using the information that I provided to answer the caller's questions. Here I see the full summary of what happened on the call. I can see the questions that Sona answered, and I could see the details that Sona collected as part of taking a message. Again, this is accessible on our desktop app, on our mobile apps, and also available to you to retrieve using the API. You can see a full transcript of the call, and of course, you have the recording as well. So there you have it, folks. That is a demo of Sona in your workspace. If you are already an OpenPhone customer, Sona is available to you to try in your workspace. If you head over to the Sona settings page, which is in the nav bar here, you can head right into your call flow builder. You can drag the Sona step onto your call flow. You can configure it. You can try a test call. And once you're ready to go live with your customers, you will need to purchase the add-on to publish Sona and go live. Now I'm going to just stop the share here. And we're going to get the slides back up in 1 second. Okay. So folks, that's the demo. If you're ready to purchase Sona, it is available as a paid add-on to any open phone plan. Whether you're on the starter plan, the business plan, or scale plan, you can go ahead and purchase Sona. It's available for a charge of $49 a month for 50 calls. Additional calls are 99 cents per call. This allotment of 50 calls resets each and every month. And again, please remember, if you're already an open phone customer or if you're a new customer signing up, Sona is available for you to go ahead, try in your call flow builder, try some test calls with your own knowledge, your own greeting to see what it's like tailored to your business before making that purchase decision. This pricing is workspace wide. So as soon as you purchase the add-on, Sona is available on each and every inbox, each and every phone line that you have inside of your open phone workspace. Thank you, folks. And I'm going to pass things off back to Kat.
Thanks, Andrew, for that great demo. I think it's amazing just to see how easy it is to implement Sona into an existing phone number that you have within your open phone workspace, and hearing Sona live was great. We are going to take some time to take some questions that were in the Q&A session. So I actually might bring Daryna back as well, just in case there are any that are more open phone specific for you, Daryna. But I'm going to go into the Q&A and we'll try and get through as many of these as possible. Like I said, after this, I'll share a few more resources in terms of where you can go to ask additional questions. Someone asked, Andrew, maybe it's good for you to answer this. What are the knowledge base integrations that Sona can pull from right now?
Yeah, so right now, as I showed off in the demo, you're able to create pages inside of OpenPhone. So basically typing up new information or copying information from other sources. Soon we'll have the ability to upload knowledge pages, whether that's a Word document or something else. As of right now, there is no capability, though, to integrate knowledge directly from another source, let's say like a Zendesk or another knowledge base system of that sorts.
Thanks, Andrew. I think this is probably a good time to plug too. If you do decide to add Sona into your call flow builder, we have a feedback section built in directly there. So if there are things that you know that you want to be added to Sona, please share that feedback because that goes
Yeah.
to Andrew.
Yeah, we're watching that channel all day. We have a Slack channel set up, all the feedback's coming through. We're all reading it. So please, if you have a chance, check that out.
Yeah, maybe also too, if you want to go ahead and put some feedback in the chat, we'd love to hear that as well. Someone asked, can Sona send a text recap to a client or answer a client's question via text?
No, right now, Sona is designed to handle incoming calls only. So it is not able to text customers and is not able to place outbound calls, just because I saw that was another common question in the chat coming up.
Again, some good feedback for Andrew.
Yes.
Someone asked, how many calls can Sona take concurrently?
Yeah, so there's no limits for how many calls Sona can handle concurrently in your open phone workspace. So any regular business, like day-to-day operations, whether you're getting a low volume, high volume of calls, all of that will work with Sona. There's no cap.
Awesome. Another person asked, is it possible to have Sona answer calls only during a certain shift after hours? So not just after all hours, but between certain hours after hours. I just said hours a lot of times. Does that make sense, Andrew?
Yeah. So right now, it's limited to during or after business hours. In the near future, we actually have another team at OpenPhone that is working on the call flow builder and recently released that. So great new improvement. It really sets the foundation for adding more control over how calls are routed. And that team will be looking to add a variety of conditions that you can use to route your calls. Once that's available, you will be able to use that directly with Sona to make sure that a certain shift of after hours calls is handled by Sona. So not available yet, but something the team will be working on.
Another question we got about Sona is languages for Sona. So is Sona available in other languages, or would it be able to detect other languages and respond?
Yeah, so right now, Sona only speaks English. If users speak another language to it, it will respond that is only available in English. The next languages we are looking to to get in there is both Spanish and French, as many of our customers are Canada, the US, and then those are two very prominent languages there. But as of right now, it is only English.
Awesome. Great to hear a little bit about kind of the future of Sona.
Yeah.
Someone asked if there are any recommendations on how much information you can or should put into the knowledge section.
Yeah, in general, it's very similar to if you were providing a knowledge base for your customers, right? You would want the minimum amount of information necessary to help answer the questions that they might have. And the same applies for Sona. The more clear you are in the knowledge you provided, the less knowledge you provided, as long as it's capturing the questions that are coming in from callers, it'll do an excellent job at responding to questions. Just to kind of give a rule of thumb, if you were to provide Sona with up to 10 knowledge base pages with, let's say, 10,000 characters each, it'll do a phenomenal job at answering questions reliably. But again, knowledge it's definitely a tricky part of the configuration. And once you put your knowledge base together, you should continue to revisit it, continue to iterate on it, making sure that it reflects the questions customers are asking, making sure information is always up to date to make sure that Sona is performing as well as possible for your business.
I want to add a little bit to that. So yeah, from our own experience, maybe just a plug. If you go to sona.com, sorry, oh my God, Sona, yeah, I wish, openphone.com/Sona. Yeah, I kind of, I'm already too far there. Openphone.com/Sona. If you go to that page, you see a phone number on that website. That is our Sona number that we've been also playing with, and obviously getting your questions, seeing how Sona performs. And to Andrew's point, I think that's like a very fascinating part of Sona, because once you set it up, sure, I mean, technically you can set it and forget it, but Sona gets so much better when you look at actually what people are asking and sort of audit that and say, okay, here's a question I didn't anticipate. Let me add it to the FAQ. And that was something that we did that was really impactful.
Awesome, Daryna. Thanks for adding on there. Also, good to plug that I think that this was a question that is in some of our FAQ documentation for Sona in the Open Phone Help Center. So that's another great place to check out resources for Sona. We had another question about kind of the AI of Sona. So how does Sona's underlying large language model handle general knowledge questions such as real-time queries like the current time or basic factual inquiries compared to other AI phone solutions? Is Sona designed to primarily rely on the uploaded knowledge base and OpenPhone's existing data, or does it have broader capabilities?
Yeah, so right now, Sona is very constrained to answering questions based on the knowledge base that you provided. And it's very good at following that instruction. So if you provided information about your hours, it'll answer questions about your hours. If you don't, it won't. And again, it's very consistent with that. Answering questions, things like what is the current time? Again, right now it responds in UTC specifically. So adding the ability for you to manage what time zone you're in the future is a customization option. We'll need to look to add for that specifically. But in general, it is constrained to answer questions very specifically based on the knowledge that you provided and not stray away from that.
Awesome. Some questions I got were about integrations with Sona. So specifically like booking integrations, scheduling integrations. I don't know, Andrew or Daryna, if you guys want to talk a little bit to that.
Yeah, so again, it's in this early version, integrations like with scheduling tools, let's say Google Calendar, Calendly, that sort of thing, not available right now. But again, we've launched. Folks have been providing a ton of feedback in product and very, very clear idea of where the biggest opportunities are in terms of improving and iterating on Sona. So you'll definitely see some very quick improvements to help you serve a variety of use cases that I'm seeing kind of filter through the chat here.
Awesome, thanks. Some other questions we got were about like how customizable is Sona in terms of the greeting or like what you can call Sona.
Yeah, so for sure. Right now, again, the different configurations options I showed you is what you're able to customize. So the greeting, you're able to customize what knowledge Sona has so that it can answer questions, and last but not least, the details it collects as part of taking a message. The general flow of the conversation, the script that Sona follows, all of that is handled behind the scenes. In the greeting, I guess this is like a little bit of a fun fact maybe for the webinar. In the greeting, if you actually give Sona a different name, it'll use a different name when introducing itself to customers and talking to customers. That being said, in the UI, in the call summaries, and all the other kind of oversight features I showed you in the branding, that'll continue to say Sona. But again, if you want to have some fun and sort of change the name up, maybe during hours you want one version of Sona, after hours you want another version of Sona, you can definitely specify a different name in the greeting there. And have it take it on.
That's a great point. That's a really nice way to make it more like fit with your business and maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah. And if, by the way, if you've done this, let us know in the chat if you gave Sona a different name.
Yeah, what's your go-to name? We've definitely seen a few variety of names come through. It's always interesting to see.
Great. Another question we got was how selective you can be as to which phone number it's used on. I don't want to use it for all my business lines, just a select few. Is that possible?
Yeah, 100%. So each and every single phone number, each and every inbox inside of OpenPhone has its own call flow builder. So with each and every phone number, you can define how calls are routed differently. You can configure Sona completely differently. You can have an inbox for, let's say, your property management company and you have properties in Toronto. You could have an inbox that is specific to properties in Toronto, and you could have Sona equipped with knowledge to answer questions specifically about that property. Now, I could have a second phone line for properties in San Francisco, and again, I can configure the greeting for Sona. I can have a different name for San Francisco Sona, and I could give a different knowledge that's specific to those San Francisco properties to make sure that that it's super configurable across your business.
But I also wanted maybe to mention, because I know there were a lot of questions about pricing, which maybe we can talk about that. But Sona is built on a workspace level, so
yes,
yeah, maybe a little bit more on that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So once you purchase the Sona add-on, again available on any OpenPhone plan, that allotment of 50 calls applies to the entire workspace. So if I have 5 phone lines, I can use Sona on 5 phone lines. I could use Sona on 2 different places in those 5 phone lines. But the call counts, the number of calls, it all kind of rolls up to the entire workspace.
Awesome. I just want to say I'm getting a lot of questions about Sona and texting. So
Yeah.
it feels like heavy feedback for the team. Also too, getting some feedback about Sona for outbound calling as well. Let's see here. We're kind of getting to the bottom of the list here, but for billing, is it possible to purchase more than 50 calls per month upfront at a cheaper per call price?
Yeah, so right now it's very simple. It's $50 upfront and then $1 per call afterwards. Just like we're going to look to iterate on the features and the capabilities that Sona has, pricing is going to evolve as well as we start to learn more about the types of volumes, call volumes our customers are handling with Sona and what pricing model makes most sense for different levels of call volume. So stay tuned. There's not much more information I have other than that, but just like the product itself, this is our first take at pricing. We tried to keep it simple, and now we're going to learn and continue to improve it to make sure that we're providing you value.
Awesome. Another kind of question, I think this is related to pricing again. So for the 50 calls, does a call count even if Sona does not pick up or get engaged?
Yeah, so right now, as soon as the call is connected, it will count towards a call handled by Sona. So as soon as it's connected, it'll count. But again, this is another thing that we'll look for feedback around to learn more about how we can potentially improve this and make the pricing model more simple and more valuable to you folks.
I got a question about a competitor, so I'm curious to hear Andrew and Daryna y'all's feedback on this. But someone said we use a competitor, and the competitor's agent cannot compute statements. So customers have to phrase their concerns as questions. For example, if a customer states, "I want a refund," instead of "Can I get a refund?" the agent doesn't respond appropriately. Can you confirm that this is not an issue with Sona?
I think again, because we deal with such a wide range of use cases, definitely the best tip is just to go into the OpenPhone workspace and try some of those test calls for yourself to see how it handles the different wording and the different situations. That being said, with how the models work today, it should be able to understand the intent of the statement, and then choose how to best respond, regardless of what types of words are used. As long as the customer intent is there, Sona is designed to understand that and respond appropriately. But again, we deal with such a wide range of use cases that it really is best to just go in and try it out for yourself and have a conversation with Sona.
Yeah, I feel like the testing feature is something that everyone should take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely.
After this
Definitely.
you can kind of see it firsthand for yourself. Um, Someone asked, can I turn Sona on and off based on my availability to answer a call?
So right now, there is no such nuanced control. It is all done through the call flow builder. So it really comes down to you're able to set up Sona, or you're able to set it up so that you have calls going to Sona based on a phone menu selection, based on whether a call is missed, and based on whether a call is placed during or after business hours. So those are like the main ways you can kind of configure. But again, if hopefully if you're already an open phone customer, like feel free to check out the call flow builder and you could play around with it and poke at it and kind of try to place Sona in different places to see exactly, how you can configure it depending on your needs.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, there's no way to do it. I also was trying to see if there's like an existing
Yeah.
sort of solution for it, but maybe there is a way, like, whoever asked this question, there's a way for you to like set it up through the call flow and maybe modify certain things. But the key piece for me was when I was setting up Sona is that just make sure you don't override it. I think that was like a key point, right? When you create Sona and you put in all of the knowledge, the prompts, the greeting, just be careful about not overriding it. That was my own experience.
We're at about 10 minutes of live Q&A, but there does seem to be a few questions about like how Sona interacts with spam.
Yeah. So right now, the flow of conversation is pretty straightforward. So the caller calls in, Sona answers the phone, it greets the caller, looks to understand why they're calling, and if there's nothing else it could help them with, it'll basically move to concluding the call and ending the call. Um, so that's the way it's designed for spam calls specifically. If there's big periods of silence and if it detects the silence several times, it'll hang up the call. If a call starts to go beyond 10 minutes, it'll hang up the call. So again, today, as soon as the call's connected, it counts towards your 50 call allotment. But past there, Sona, handles the conversation as it would a human conversation. It'll end the call when relevant, and if the call goes too long, it'll just end it outright.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. I think we've done about, like I said, 10, 12 minutes of live Q&A. So I do want to let everyone know that there are some other ways that you can actually get questions answered. So you're going to be able to try Sona. If you want to call this number, you can ask Sona any Sona related questions. It's very meta of us. So call that number, take a screenshot of it. When you call in, you'll be able to ask any questions about OpenPhone and Sona will respond. So you'll get kind of your own real life demo of how Sona reacts in a conversation, which is great. If you
And
want, oh, sorry.
I was
Yeah.
going to plug that exactly, the Reddit AMA.
I was gonna say if you want some more time with Andrew, which who wouldn't? Again, he has been the product manager for Sona, so he's really the best person to answer any questions that you might have. He's gonna be on Reddit from 2 to 3 Eastern or 11 to 12 Pacific, based off of where you are, and he'll be doing a live Ask Me Anything. So if you go to this Reddit page, we'll be able to again spend some more time with Andrew and ask additional questions about Sona. Um, that's really not all too, like I said, we'll be sending out emails at the end of the webinar with a recording and with some additional resources based off of if you're an existing customer of OpenPhone or if you're someone who's new to OpenPhone. And we'll be hosting actually Sona weekly webinars for the foreseeable future at this exact time. So if you want to maybe register for an event next week or send a member of your team to learn more about Sona, if you go to this homepage, you'll be able to get more information, and you'll also, too, like I said, be able to register for those weekly webinars. So want to give a big thank you to Andrew and Daryna for presenting today and talking us through everything Sona related. I hope everyone found it as enjoyable and exciting as I did today. Really, Interested to hear y'all's feedback on Sona. And yeah, like I said, if you want to join Andrew and the Ask Me Anything on Reddit, feel free to head over there. Other than that, we will just wrap up this webinar. So thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate your time and looking forward to learning more about how you all utilize Sona.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.